Welcome to the Thunder Hour Podcast, hosted by Trey Hamilton and produced by Leif Dietrich.
Welcome back to Thunder Hour. This is, believe it or not, episode 8 already. Did Leif get the fingers right? Yes, he did. Congrats, Leif. I am so proud of you. But yeah, we are 8 episodes into this thing. And sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but here we are. And it's been a heck of a ride, as we mention every episode, because to be honest, we never knew it would get to this point in the first place. Like I'd said when we talked about filming a podcast, personally, I didn't know if it was ever even going to happen. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into it. You have to schedule around each other's work schedule, and you have to be able to open up times for, having guests. But it's worked out really well so far. We've been on schedule once a week. Yeah, episode 8. I'm super excited to be here with you, Leif. I'm just going to drop the car keys over there because I do not want to be jingling in the middle of the podcast. Yeah, we got another very busy week ahead for the Tillsonburg Thunder. This episode, we're going to talk about our 9-3. I had to think about it. It was 9-4, but you predicted 9-3. Our 9-4 win over the Orangeville Blitz, and also line up the exciting special event weekend which is going to begin on Friday at home, 7 o'clock puck drop against Delhi.
Yes.
And then Saturday, 7:30 against a team that none of us like very much, as they beat us in the championship series last year, the Stratford Fighting Irish. So we'll break down Orangeville, talk about the 2 games upcoming, and we'll have a very, very special guest on the show this week. But we'll just go along with the podcast, and we'll tease it as we get later on in the show. So, first of all, let's open it up with saying, Mr. Leif Dietrich, even though it's Dietrich, how are you doing today, Leif?
Oh, I'm pretty good, Pretty good. Just, what is this? Tuesday? This is Tuesday, so...
Yeah, we film usually on Tuesday mornings, and then we do interviews on Wednesdays or Thursdays, and then release the podcast Fridays or Saturdays, depending on how much work we have to do in between for editing and stuff.
If the Thunder played,
Yes.
say the Friday, so we're going to done before the game. We
Yeah.
always want to get it done before their first game.
Yeah.
That way it's like up to date and it's not up to date.
Yeah. So this episode should release Friday morning.
Yeah.
More than likely scheduled for either early morning, like 9 or 10 a.m., or we might schedule it for noon or just after, depending on how much work we have to do. Yeah. I know it'll be your first day at your new job, so but we'll schedule it. We'll do everything we have to do with our special guest interview, and then we'll schedule it. So yeah, be ready for this episode to release Friday. I'm sure we'll update that on Facebook, because you guys aren't going to hear me telling you to be ready for it to release until it does release. So this is all kind of moot. But anyway, let's jump right into it, Leif. Why don't we? Thunder hosted the 1-7 Orangeville Blitz. It was a really special day for everybody. It was Remembrance Day, so we had a great pregame ceremony that took place. We had our flag bearers on the ice. Annandale Public School did a really nice rendition of the national anthem in the crowd. They're actually sitting in the crowd. They didn't want to get them all onto the ice. It would have been a lot of little kids stumbling around and stuff. So I don't think we had enough carpet. I think Mike Hawley might have to go buy a new 20-foot by 10-foot carpet for when we do stuff like that. But it was a beautiful game. It was a beautiful ceremony, to begin what ended up being a beautiful game for the Thunder. But yeah, we just again want to salute and thank all members, past and present, of the Canadian Armed Forces, Royal Canadian Air Force, and Canadian Navy, who continue to fight for us every day and have given us the opportunity to be able to do things like host a podcast and talk about hockey, and watch hockey and just be part of this amazing free country that we're in. So thank you to you guys and girls who do it for us every day. So yeah, the Thunder played host to the Orangeville Blitz, and just before the game, like literally hours before the game, we get a notification that Bill Ryan has pulled another string, and he never takes credit for any of the signings, and I always tell him that, I thank him and tell him he does a great job, because he is a really, really good GM. He's very personable, and he's very straight to the point. But yeah, Bill Ryan, hats off to you. He was able to secure the signing of a 6'7" monster on defense, a 3-year ECHL vet, a veteran of the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League, a fairly local boy, Mr. Jack Van Boekel. We are so excited to have him. Van Boekel, he looks like a stud out there, Leif, honestly, just from one game.
He really does. I agree. Looks very good. Strengthens the D-core that arguably didn't need to be strengthened because it's been so good. But again,
depth.
Here we are.
You need depth, right?
Yeah,
you're not going to have everybody show up every game, so to have a guy like Van Boekel and be able to slot him in the lineup when he's available, I mean, we talked about it previously as soon as we heard about the Van Boekel signing. To just imagine a defensive core that would possess, say, a first pair of Ryan Martinelli and Justin Abraham, and then a second pair of Jamie Forsland and Jack Van Boekel, and then have a third pair with Brandon Barletta and Chris Knotts, and have a guy like Finn, guys like Finn who are veterans of this team, guys like Wyachek who have been outstanding rookies so far, Brzezinski. These guys wouldn't even be able to crack that lineup. That's how deep that defense is. And when we say that Bill Ryan is going all out for the championship this year, he is really going all out for the championship. So welcome to the team, 6'7", 210-pound defenseman, former member of the Cincinnati Cyclones and the Wheeling Nailers and a couple other teams in the ECHL. I actually spotted him on NHL 23. I hopped on the other day. I was like, well, if he was in the league last year, so I hopped on NHL 23. Jack is there. And I still think NHL did him a little dirty on some stats. Definitely not as nice to him as they were to McQueen. But Jack, it's really good to have you on the team, man. It's really cool when we get to talk about that, we get to go play a video game at home and have players that are in this video game be on our local pro hockey team. I think it's really cool. So, yeah, welcome to Jack Van Boekel. And again, the Thunder capitalized on a short Blitz roster. There were only, I believe, 2 lines and 1 extra forward, so they were rotating, I believe it was 7 forwards and 4 defense. So, very tired Blitz squad. Goaltender Luchko played well, but not well enough. The Thunder just kept going at him. But yeah, Thunder came on top with a 9-4 win over the Orangeville Blitz. So, instead of talking about it, we have highlights of it. So why don't we jump to the Tillsonburg Thunder highlights brought to you by Domino's Pizza. We'll be right back after this.
And we are ready for hockey here in Tillsonburg. Puck drop. Here we go. Geldart in his own end. And there's going to be a big collision in the middle. Big hit there by Fitzmaurice. Thunder have numbers. Here comes Knotts. Spins it for Geldart. Geldart waits in front. Shot, score! There we go, baby. Austin Forsyth on a beautiful play. Broken up there in their own end. Fitzmaurice laid the hit. Thunder came across the line, and Forsyth was wide open in front. Beautiful play from Geldart and Forsyth. Thunder lead 1-0 here at 17:25 to go in the first. Reset in their own end. Taking away Reverie in front. Kudo shot, scores! Brandon Kudo and Mike Reverie capitalize on the turnover. 14:51 here in the first period, and it's already 2-0 Thunder. Folks, I have a feeling we're going to get some free pizza tonight. We'll play it in on Sagra. Sagra has trouble with it, and the Blitz are going to get a goal. Matt Sagrot, a misplay on the puck, and the Blitz capitalized right away. That looked like 16 Nathan Rowe on that goal, and if you're Matt Sagrot, you got to remember, if you're a goaltender, your job is to tend the goal. Bench, the Blitz backup goaltender, as I said, grabbing his stick. Not a nice play there. Oh, and Fitzmaurice lays a huge hit. Blitz score! McDonald, the Thunder got in their own heads there. Playing sloppy, and it got a little chippy, and bang, bang, the Orangeville Blitz tied the game at 2. Towards the net, but just wide. Van Boekel jumps in. Van Boekel. McQueen. In front, Knotts. Shot, score! Chris Knotts! First of the season. Thunder regain the lead. 3-2 on a beautiful play set up by Jamie McQueen. Finds McGuffin. McGuffin has a jump over his stick, but he's still on it. Nice move there, McGuffin. Towards the net. Cross Baker, scores! Kyle Baker! Welcome to the show! His first Washoe goal goal. Thunder lead 4-2. A beautiful play from Chris McGuffin. Fitzmaurice, who chips it nicely there to Geldart, hoping for Forsyth. Forsyth on it, but Taylor takes it away. Justin Abraham at the point. In the middle, Fitzmaurice, shot, score! Mitch Fitzmaurice! Thunder lead 5-2. You know what that means? It's a Domino's 5 for 5 here in Tillsonburg. Cross neutral ice, slot, on the wing, Kudo. Kudo for Christo. Christo shoots, save, in! It snuck through the goaltender. Curtis Christo, his first of the year. Thunder lead 6-2. Low shot just wide of Sagrot. Back to the point, Siddle. Siddle behind the cage, looking for Volpe in front. Volpe has it, shot, score! Volpe answers back for the Blitz, and they cut the lead in half. It's 6-3 here in Tillsonburg with 2:31 to go in the second period. Oh, it was knocked away, but he does eventually get it to Rebery. Rebery looks in the middle. Van Boekel makes a move. Roberts has it, shoots, score! Braden Roberts buries it. Thunder leads 7-3. Nice play from Rebery and Van Boekel. And Braden Roberts, the beneficiary of that nice setup. 11:28 to go here in the third, 7-3. Baker on the rebound, just wide. McQueen in a battle with it, in the middle. McGuffin, good hard shot, but it was stopped. Rebound, Baker, Knotts, McQueen, score! Jamie McQueen pops the bottle again, and he gives the salute that time. He's giving the crowd some smiles. We love it. After being robbed twice in this game already by Luchko. Luchko dove out looking for the pad stacker. McQueen said, "I'll take your water bottle, thank you, sir." Big Finn jumped up on that play. He wanted a goal, but it was just off his stick. Here come the Blitz. Chidwick working on Forsland. Chidwick around Forsland, quick shot, Sagrot, and it's in. Tricky little shot by Chidwick, and it went over the shoulder of Sagrot, who went RVH, and Chidwick had a little bit of space to pick that one, and he picked it, so. 3, 2, and 1. That's all she wrote here in Tillsonburg. Final score, Thunder 9, Blitz 4. Once again, your Thunder improved to 6-1 on the season. The Blitz fall to 1-8. That takes care of business here in Tillsonburg, Ontario. From Tillsonburg Memorial Arena, I'm Trey Hamilton. I thank my camera crew, Mr. Payton's done a great job tonight. And we thank all fans who have come out in attendance at Tillsonburg Memorial Arena to watch the Thunder and get another.
Those were Tillsonburg Thunder highlights brought to you by Domino's Pizza. As mentioned, the Thunder come out on top 9-4, the final score over the Orangeville Blitz, the visitors in this contest. Mr. Leif, Dietrich, I just want to congratulate you as you chug your 2 liters of chocolate milk. Circle K chocolate milk, by the way, we're not sponsored by anything you see. Tim Hortons doesn't sponsor us. Gatorade doesn't sponsor us. Okay. Circle K doesn't sponsor us, but that is the best chocolate milk on planet Earth. But Leif, congratulations. You predicted a final score on last week's episode of 9-3 for the Thunder. Ironically, we both predicted 9 goals.
Yes.
You predicted 3 against, I predicted 2 against. Final score 9-4. Everybody give a big round of applause at home for Mr. Leif Dietrich. His first prediction win of the season. Congrats, Leif.
Woo!
We are really proud of you. Actually, I think you won the one against Dunnville as well. I think you were closer than I was.
Maybe.
Something like that. I haven't been keeping good track, so those of you at home, if you want to keep track of who's winning these prediction battles, I know Leif definitely got this one. 9-3 was your prediction, 9-4 was the score, so let's jump into the score sheet. We'll talk about it here. Austin Forsyth, the rookie, opened up the scoring just 3 minutes in. A lot of scoring, as Leif's showing on his phone. Austin Forsyth, 3 minutes into the contest, assisted from Chris Knotts and Kane Geldart. Knotts, again, had a great game. Knotts was the player of the game. We'll talk about that after. I know I just spoiled the first star, but doesn't matter. Everybody who was there knows Knotts was an absolute stud. Forsyth, second of the season. I've really liked Forsyth. He's been in the lineup every game. He's been a difference maker. We got to chat with him at Tim Hortons at the meet and greet that we did there with the Tim Hortons hockey card event. Austin's a great kid. He really enjoys the Thunder organization already, and he's making an impact. So Austin Forsyth, second of the year from Knott's and Geldart. And then just a minute and a half later, Brandon Kudo gets his fourth of the season, assisted from Mike Rebry. It was a turnover behind the Blitz net, and Rebry just came around, and Kudo was right there. No chance for the goalie. And for Kudo, his fourth of the year. And that line of, we were missing Sheldon Thompson, so the first line, which is normally Roberts, Thompson, and Kudo, they slotted Rebry up, and he played the wing on that line. Rebry's playing a lot more wing this year than he was last year.
Yeah.
He was on a line with Brown and Weston last year. Both those guys are not with us this year. He was the centerman on that line, but Rebry seems to fit right in on the wing, dude, honestly. I've been really impressed with Rebry. He got the assist, and Kudo was the beneficiary of the pass. And then, unfortunately, just 30 seconds later, the Blitz dumped the puck into the Thunder zone, and Matt Sagrot came out to play the puck, and Sags just kind of heeled it. And then the Blitz player poked it through his skates. I'm not sure why they gave it unassisted, because it was poked from the one guy to the other guy, and Nathan Rowe was the other guy, and he had a wide open net and just tapped it in. So congrats, Nathan Rowe. That was your easiest goal you'll ever score in professional hockey. And Sags, we understand, dude. We're both goalies. I played this morning at 9 o'clock in the morning and literally came out to play a puck and put it right on a guy's tape. So I understand the feeling. It's okay. Forgive me for saying you have to tend the goal on the broadcast and in the locker room. I was just playing around with these Sags. But yeah, that was a tough break.
Yeah.
And then a couple minutes later, Josh McDonald from Derek Ferris. So bang, bang, Blitz tied the game. So we go to the end of the first period tied up 2-2. And then the Thunder just would take over. It took about 8 minutes of the period to get going.
Yeah.
But once they did, they didn't stop. Chris Knotts got his first of the season, assisted from Jack Van Boekel and Jamie McQueen. So Queener again in on the offense. Knotter jumped up. McQueen just spotted him across ice. I really like Van Boekel as a player. He seems to be very jumpy. He wants to get in on offense. I didn't like the pairing with Knotts because Knotts is very similar. They're both offensive defensemen.
Yes.
And the coaching staff, Ebden, shout out to you, made a good adjustment. In the third period, they put Big Jamie Forsland on a pair with Van Boekel. And those guys are freaking huge. Forsland's 6'5", and Van Boekel's 6'7". So some massive dudes. Like, what are we in the NHL out here? We got these huge defensemen with OHL and QMJHL experience and ECHL and SPHL. Hats off. But yeah, I didn't like Knotts and Van Boekel together, although they did hit the score sheet. But against a better team like Stratford or Tilbury or Petrolia, you're not going to want two defensemen who are going to jump a lot, because then you're going to be relying on offensive back checking. And we know that doesn't always happen as well as it should. So Knotts from Van Boekel and McQueen. And then, under a minute later, congratulations to a guy we've talked about a lot. We've been super excited to see him be part of the Thunder organization, and we think he's going to be a big part of the future. Mr. Kyle Baker picking up his first Western Ontario Super Hockey League goal. Congratulations, Bakes. Assisted from McGuffin and Knotts. So there you go. Knotts already having 3 points on the first 4 goals of the game. Knotts was everywhere. But yeah, Bakes, congrats, kid. You are a stud. We can't wait for you to be out there for the Thunder this year as we head further on into the season, closer to the playoffs. Congrats getting off the schneid. I know he got robbed on the breakaway in the first period. Got sprung, and then Luchko got the blocker on it, went on top of the net. McQueen was trying to hit it off the back of the net. It was funny. Cool situation. But yeah, Bakes, congrats for burying that one. And then at 9:42, so just a couple of minutes later, about a minute and a half, Mitch Fitzmaurice gets his first of the season, assisted from Justin Abraham. It was a game-winning goal. We kept joking for weeks about Fitzy shooting the puck. He finally shot one, and it went in the back of the net. And, by the way, he would score another one later. So,
Yes, he would.
Fitzy, his first of the year, assisted from Abraham. Great pass from Abe's, by the way. He was on the half wall, and it was like a 2-second play. Like, he had to get the pass there, and Fitzy had to get it off the stick, and he did. So, Fitzy gets his first of the year, assisted from Abraham. And then another guy got his first of the year. Curtis Christo, assisted from Slot and Kudo. Derek Slot got his first assist of the year as well. Slot and Christo, those are guys that are hard-working guys. They don't get as much ice time, say, as the McQueens and the Kudos. As you see, Kudo was on the ice during that one. But Christo was one of the guys that I love to watch. He's, again, a Woodstock Navy vet, a veteran. Not a veteran, he's a kid, but he was a veteran of the vets, like a 4-year starter. And yeah, Christo's a really good kid. He scored a couple really big goals in the playoffs last year. High effort, high energy guy. 110% every shift. You know what to expect from him. He'll back check. He'll forecheck. Great to see him get rewarded. It was a funny shot. Luchko went kind of go RVH. It hit the post and then hit the back of his leg and then trickled in. So, because I actually said save on the broadcast and then it was in the back of the net. So, those ones get even the best of us. So, and then as we tick down, 2.5 minutes left in the period, David Volpe got his first of the season, assisted from Noah Sigil. I'm not sure how to say your name, Noah. I'm sorry if I said it wrong the whole game. And Jake Stoneham, the captain, got his 7th assist on that play as well. So for Volpe, as I said, his first of the year, it was a tricky play. The puck actually was a low shot, and Mike Finley had his stick out, and it rolled up his stick and went up over Sagrot's arm. Nothing Sags can do on that. Yeah. I know the numbers aren't going to look great for Sags this game. We had a personal conversation with him, He wasn't feeling 100%. We could tell, but he still got us the win. Because I think he knew Jesse Raymond, who was backing up, was not ready for game action. Razor was just there to fill the spot because Andre couldn't be there. No one wasn't dressing. So, hats off to Sags for playing not 100%. We appreciate you, Sags. You're an absolute legend. Get better soon as well. Get some rest. Volpe, it was just a tough play. I saw Sags and Finn talking about it. It happens, right? Yeah. We're goalies. Sometimes your defense blocks a shot, you say thank you, and sometimes they block it into the net. So, jump to the third period, 11 minutes and 30 seconds in. Braden Roberts got his 2nd of the season, assisted from Van Boekel and Knotts. So there's Chris Knotts and Van Boekel again in on the offense. Those two, put them on the power play together, which they did. You're gonna have a lot of offense out there. Great to see Van Boekel too jumping right in from the ECHL, jumping right into the Washel. And I know it was against a weaker opponent, but he still fit right in with this team. So Roberts, good shot, snuck under the blocker or under the glove hand of Luchko, who by the way did have a good game. Luchko's a good goaltender. He just doesn't have a lot of defense in front of him. He robbed McQueen a couple times in that game. McQueen later on got his revenge. And then we go to the 8:25 mark. Mitch Fitzmaurice got his 2nd of the game, 2nd of the season. Thanks for finally shooting the puck, Fitzy. Assisted again from Van Boekel, so his 3rd assist in his first game as a Thunder. And Kane Geldart picked up his 6th assist, his 2nd of the game. Unfortunately, there's no video. Something had happened. The stream lagged, so we had no video of that goal, but it was just a bang-bang play in front, and Fitzy buried it. Hats off to Fitzy, 2-goal game. And then 4:41 to go in the third period. Mr. Jamie McQueen picked up his 5th of the season, assisted from Chris McGuffin and Kyle Baker. So Baker, 2-point game in his first Washel points came together in this game. He was all over the place. He got to play on a line with McGuffin and McQueen. Those two guys are legends of this team. And to be a guy who just came off of winning, what was it, the Schmaltz Cup, or is that the Junior B? Is it the Sutherland Cup? One of those cups, I don't remember. He won the Schmaltz Cup with Wesley last year, the Applejacks, or Wellesley, whatever you want to call them. To come off of that team and then jump into this team and get to play on a line with a guy who was a 4-year AHL vet, a DEL champion like Jamie McQueen. I'm sure for Bakes it was a pretty cool feeling. Yeah. And obviously Chris McGuffin, he's no slouch either. I know he's getting a little bit older, but a Junior B legend with the St. Thomas Stars, same thing. Guff, great hockey player, runs the hockey school, Level Up Hockey with Jamie McQueen. So those two guys are really tight, and Bakes got to fit right in on that line. So McQueen popped the water bottle. Luchko went down for the pad stacker, missed it, and McQueen just seed right off the bottle. Bottle went about 8 feet in the air. I just see it just like slow motion. Jamie McQueen, that's 2 games in a row with a water bottle pop, so we'll be keeping track of that. See if he keeps doing that. And then the Blitz at 2:07, Jesse Chidwick, probably the best player on the Blitz, to be honest with you. Yeah. We held him scoreless all game, and then he was able to get a little solo rush. Good pass from Blake Lovell and Dan Calitri, or Calitri. I probably said his name wrong all game as well. I apologize.
Probably.
Jesse Chidwick is 4th of the year. His 13th point in 7 games for the Blitz. And it was a nice solo individual rush. Sags went down on the post. The glove wasn't quite high enough. He just put it over his shoulder. He had about this much room to fit it in, and he did. So Jesse Chidwick would score there, and that would close out the scoring for the game, which would bring us to a final score of 9-4 for your Tillsonburg Thunder. And as we look through the score sheet, Jack Van Boekel had 3 assists in his debut. Derek Slock got an assist. King Geldart, 2 assists. Abraham with an assist. Roberts with a goal. Fitzmaurice with 2 goals. Rebry with an assist, McGuffin with 2 assists, Forsyth, Christo, and Baker, Kudo, Knotts, McQueen all scored. And Baker, Kudo, McQueen added an assist, and Chris Knotts, player of the game, 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points. Sagrot, 25 saves on 29 shots, got the win. Leif, that was one heck of a game from the Thunder.
I agree.
They did what we wanted them to do. Unfortunately, they did obviously give up the 2-goal lead right away in the first period, but they came out and they showed who the better team was, and they did not let their foot off the gas.
Yeah, it's second period. It seems to be a common theme with the Thunder,
Yes.
going 2-2 into the second period, and then all of a sudden you score 4 goals, which I think they've done every second period this year, other than Tilbury. Other than Tilbury, they've done it, even though they've
scored in every second period, because they scored. Geldar got their 1 goal against Tilbury in that second period. But they seem to be a slow starting team, and then they explode in the second period and then just keep the foot on the gas in the third. That's what it's been like to me. But if this team can learn how to start hot right off the gate,
oh yeah, good luck.
Dude, this will be a 13-14 goal game in their next contest against a team that has improved. But I don't know. We definitely have their number. So, but yeah, I thought I was pretty impressed. Leif, what did you think of the young guys like Baker and Forsyth and those guys?
I thought they played really well. I think the line with McQueen, McGuffin, and Baker, I think he looked a little uncomfortable in the first period, but then, we started to get more comfortable as the game went on.
Yeah.
He might have, honestly, he should have had like 4 goals.
Yep.
But,
come on,
that's
Banks.
okay. That's okay, It's early in the season. You don't need to pad your stats right now, but...
Come on, Banks.
That's all I get.
I agree, though. Baker had a lot of chances,
Yeah.
man. Even McQueen should have had about 6 goals in that game, but Luchko had the answer against McQueen. I think Luchko just had in his mind, okay, 95 is the best player. I will do whatever it takes to stop this guy. I can't stop everybody on this team, but I will stop 95, and then McQueen did get the last laugh, but Luchko played well. Sagrot was even tapping the stick down in our end, because Luchko, he stayed in there. He faced a beating, man. We just kept pounding him with shots, and he held his own.
He faced like 52 shots or something?
Yeah, something up there in the 50s. And I could definitely tell you, I would have given up at least 30 goals if I was in that for the Orangeville Blitz. So
me too.
You might have given up. You might have given up less than me though. So yeah, all jokes aside, Thunder get the 9-4 win, and that concludes us chatting about the Orangeville Blitz game. Thanks to the Blitz, as you notice, no talk about antics or fan chirping or anything like that. It was a very well played game from both teams. No fights, anything like that. The officiating was great all game.
Yeah.
I think there was 3 penalties for the Blitz, 2 for the Thunder. It was what you'd expect to see.
Yeah.
Not a Petrolia 14 penalties against Tillsonburg situation there. So
No, not at all.
it was very crisply played. The Thunder were the better team. They showed that from the drop of the puck. And thank you to Orangeville for beating the Stratford Fighting Irish. We really appreciate you guys. Salute to Orangeville, and we're sorry we had to lay the beat down. But we are trying to win this league, and we're trying to show everybody we are the best team in this league. And I think that we've done just that, other than, of course, a hiccup in Tilbury where we had half of our roster. But that's beside the point. Excuses are for the weak. We are meant to destroy excuses.
Yes.
So let's line up this upcoming weekend, Leif. As mentioned, a very busy weekend for the Thunder. Another back-to-back situation, this time both at home.
Oh.
So we have the opportunity to potentially walk out of Tillsonburg by Saturday night with 2 free pizzas and 2 appetizers from the Copper Mug. We don't know yet, but might as well come out to the game and figure that out for yourself. Thunder open up the weekend on student night.
Oh.
So I'll explain student night for those who don't know. Last year we played Stratford on student night and it was packed. So if you are a student, I do not know what the team's qualifications for student is. I don't know if that includes high school or college. I'm not 100% sure. I just know that if you have the title of student, you get into the game completely free with an accompanying adult. So, say you're a dad and your kid and his 4 buddies want to go to the game. Your kid and his 4 buddies get in for free as long as you pay your $12, so on and so forth. So, high school student, I'm not sure how that would work unless they went with their parents, because there has to be one person in the group that does pay for an adult ticket, right? So, but I'm sure they're very relaxed about it. We want to get people in the barn. We want to pack the building. Student night last year was a success. I hope it's a success again this year because we're taking on a bitter rival, even though the rivalry's been a little bit meh. It was dominated by the Thunder last year, like straight up domination. We take on the 3-3 Delhi Flames in Tillsonburg. Puck drop is 7 p.m., so it's not 7:30. Saturday games are 7:30. Friday night games are 7 o'clock when they're in Tillsonburg. So, Thunder, Flames, Friday night, student night. Let's go. I can't wait, Leif. 3-game winning streak. What do you expect to see from the Thunder?
I want to see another Thunder win. I like when the Thunder win, so let's do that. Anyway, I honestly, I expect the same game plan. Probably going to be 2-2 after the first period.
Yeah.
They're probably going to score another 4 in the second, and then they're just going to score a couple in the third and then call it a game because that's Thunder hockey at this point.
Yep.
And, you know what? That isn't that bad.
So I got players to watch here for the weekend for the Thunder. So it's going to cover both games because if we say players to watch in one game, that guy might not be there that game. He might be there the next game. So we don't know. Again, we don't get the lineups until you guys do, which is about 30 minutes before the contest. So for the Thunder, I have players to watch. First off on the list, Jack Van Boekel. As long as he is able to make it this weekend, this will be his first back-to-back with the Thunder. And I want to see him Saturday regardless because I really don't like the team we're playing. And we could use a guy like him to shut down and neutralize some of that speed. But yeah, players to watch for the weekend. Jack Van Boekel for the Thunder, Kyle Baker, and Mitch Fitzmaurice. Fitzy finally got off the schneid, put a couple in the back of the net, and so did Baker. He had a goal and an assist. I want to see those three guys. I want to see what they can do. I want to see what they're capable of. And I think both of these two games, I think those guys can make a big difference. And I expect nothing less from them, to be honest, because Van Boekel, stud, Baker, stud, Fitzmaurice, stud. If those three guys can do what we want them to do, they're definitely going to be players to watch. And then for the visiting Delhi Flames, Leif, why don't you give us the Delhi Flames players to watch?
Okay, so we're going to look out for Chris Martin. He has 14 points in 6 games.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That's like 2 a game. Good
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Chris Donnelly.
He's the captain.
He's captain. I don't know if I pronounced his name right.
Yeah,
he's
you got
11 points in 3 games.
Yep.
In 3 games.
Yep.
And Luke St. Clair, 9 points in 4 games.
Yep.
So it looks like these guys, they score a lot.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, they put together a game plan in the offseason, did the Flames of building around the core that they had last year. And I look for teams like Orangeville and Dunnville to kind of follow that same MO. But yeah, the Flames were the worst team in the league last year. This year they're 3-3. They're right in the middle of the standings. They're up there with Stratford and Tilbury. A couple other teams kind of bunched in. Woodstock now, unfortunately. But yeah, so they wanted to build around the guys like Chris Donnelly. They added Chris Martin, Luke Sinclair, a couple of these guys that they're difference makers, right? Like, they're going to be out there. You're going to notice them. Now, Tillsonburg wants to dominate this rivalry because this is the Battle of the Highway 3.
Yeah.
So, for those of you who don't know, I mean, everybody from Tillsonburg is going to know. Highway 3, you're a 15-minute drive to Delhi from Tillsonburg. So, we are the closest 2 teams in the Washel by far. Woodstock's about 30 minutes from us. Stratford's about 45 to 50. Strathroy's about 50. Tilbury's a couple hours. Petrolia's an hour and a half. You get the memo. Orangeville, 2 hours. Elora, 2.5. Dunnville, hour and a half. I think that's every team. I don't know. But you get the memo. We're 15 minutes apart. These two teams do not like each other. It's a regional rivalry more than it's like a Philly-Pittsburgh kind of situation. Yeah. Even though Pittsburgh dominates that rivalry, I know I'm a Flyers fan. It's still great games every time they play.
Yeah.
Because just regionally, they have no reason to hate each other. The Flyers are not on the Penguins level ever. I mean, this year they kind of are because the Penguins are starting to tail off a bit, but that's beside the point. Just retire already, Sid, or come to Philly for a year. I'm just kidding. He would get shot if he ever did that. But anyway.
Leafs. I'm kidding.
But it would be like if the Leafs had, say the NHL had a team in London. And the Leafs and I can't really compare it to anything else because Montreal and Ottawa are pretty far away. But if the Leafs matched up with an NHL team in London, it's kind of how the Leafs play Buffalo and Detroit. It's a regional rivalry. Same thing here for us. We're 15 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
We don't like each other. There were some huge hits at the end of last season when we saw, I don't think you were there that game. You were in the States on a road trip. But as he smiles with his chocolate milk. But it was very heated last year. I believe we scored 18 on them the one game last year. I think McQueen had like 7 goals or something like that. It was crazy. Don't expect the same thing this year. The Flames are going to be hungry. They're going to want to beat the Thunder. They're going to want to show they're right back in there. Yeah. Now, do I feel the Thunder are the better team? If we all show up, 100% we're the better team. Do I feel the Thunder have the better fan base? 1,000% every day of the week, including Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, every day. I think the Thunder are going to win this game, but do I think it's going to be 18-3 like last year?
No, probably not.
No, I don't think so. I got my prediction listed at Thunder 7, Flames 4. Leif, what's your call?
I'm still going with the 18-3 Thunder.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm going 5 Thunder, 2 Delhi.
Okay. I'll write that down here. Interesting.
That's what I'm doing.
Leif's got the tight game. Interesting. We went down to Tilbury and you were like 8-7, and then we're playing Delhi and you're going 5-2. So what's your rationale on that prediction, Leif? You just think it'll be like a physical game and it won't be as high scoring?
I think so. I think we're still going to score 5 because I think the Thunder players love to give us free pizza.
Yeah,
so that's why they score 5 every single game.
Yes, thank you to Domino's for that sponsorship because it motivates the guys to go out there and put up 5 goals because they know if they put up 5 goals and people keep hearing about getting free pizza at the Thunder games, people are going to keep coming to the games. Oh, yeah. More fans in the seats, more excitement from the players, right? So, but yeah, I agree with you. I think we'll get 5 at least. I got 7-4. I don't know who's going to be starting. I don't know if Andre's going to be starting. I don't know if Sag's going to be starting. I don't know if Jesse's going to be starting. I know that I don't know if Owen's going to be starting.
We don't know.
We don't know yet. So, technically I'm on the roster, so we have 5. Nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm going 7-4 because I feel Tillsonburg is going to offensively dominate this game as always when it comes to possession, time of possession. I think the power play is going to be good. I think there's definitely going to be a few more penalties than there were last game because we don't really have a rivalry with the Blitz. We don't really know the Blitz that well. We played Aaron a couple times last year. There's a whole different team now. Yeah. Like we have their goalie on our team, for example. I know their veteran. What was his name? Jeff White. He plays on Elora this year. So a few changes. I think that this will definitely be more intense than that game was, even than the Dunnville game was. I definitely think the Thunder will pull away. I think what's going to happen from my point of view, I think the Thunder are going to jump ahead to an early 2 or 3-0 lead. I think Delhi will get back in it. By the end of the first, it'll be like 3-2. And then I think the Thunder will just put their foot on the gas. Delhi maybe gets a couple late goals. And 7-4 is my prediction. So I'm excited to see how it goes. Like I said, every time we play Delhi, we play them 4 times a year. We play Delhi and Petrolia both 4 times a year. So those are considered by the league our 2 rivals. After seeing Petrolia, I get it. But if the Thunder come out and dominate this game, and if Delhi isn't quite on our level, which I don't feel they are, thanks to the league, because even Woodstock could potentially be more of a challenge in 4 games than Delhi would be. But we don't know. Delhi beat Tilbury, and we didn't. So, again, anything can happen on any given day. I'm not here to trash talk. I'm just here to say I think that we are the best team in this league. Standings and power rankings confirm we are the best team in this league as of right now. So let's see what we do. I got Thunder 7, Flames 4, Leafs got 5-2. And then we're going to jump ahead to Saturday. A very special night for Thunder hockey. A night that holds very near and dear to many of our hearts. A night that is all about raising awareness and raising funds for a terrible, terrible thing that plagues our world every day. It takes the lives of many at young ages. And it's just such a terrible thing to even think about. But we fight for a good cause. Saturday's game is going to be for Hockey Fights Cancer. Thunder will be wearing limited edition special Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys. They are pink with the lettering and the numbers and have a breast cancer awareness pink ribbon, on the back of the jersey. It's a very near and dear topic to a lot of people. It's touchy with a lot of people. Every one of us in our lives have lost somebody to cancer, and this is a big opportunity for the guys on the ice to be able to go out and play a hard-fought game of hockey, but also keeping in mind what they're out there playing for, right? And the jerseys that are worn in the game are going to be auctioned off to the public Every single player, even if they don't play in the game, has a jersey. Every single one of them will be auctioned off. And the proceeds are going straight to cancer research. All proceeds. There's no money being kept here. This is 100% a non-profit situation, obviously. It's for a great cause. And we just wanted to shout out our own Jamie Forsland, a player for the Thunder. We saw a reel that he had posted speaking about his own battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. And obviously, salute to Jamie for being able to even have the strength to come out and play hockey. And he is in remission. His treatment has ceased, but he's feeling great. He's able to go out there and play professional hockey. Yeah. But obviously, for a guy like Jamie to be so close to our hearts and, be able to still go out there and lace up the skates, that's why it means a lot to guys like him and guys who have lost, parents. I know many who have lost their mothers and fathers to prostate cancer and breast cancer and ovarian cancer. And it's a very serious issue, and we're going to do our part to raise awareness. So if you're a fan of the Tillsonburg Thunder, one of the best ways you can support the team is by going to the Facebook page titled Tillsonburg Thunder Hockey Fights Cancer Auction, or just Tillsonburg Thunder Hockey Fights Cancer Night. Just look up Tillsonburg Thunder Hockey Fights Cancer on Facebook. You will see the link. All of the bidded auction items are posted now, so bidding is live. You're able to bid on whichever item you feel. Bidding for jerseys starts at $65 minimum bid. There's another couple cool prizes. We have a cutting board donated by the coach, handcrafted. Sean Ebden donated that. We have a Thunder birthday party event you can bid on as well, where 4 or 5 players will show up. Bolt will show up to your birthday party or local event. It's not just jerseys, so there's a lot to bid on. There's a Kitchener Rangers London Knights 4 seats, like one of the front rows. Bidding starts at $100, I believe. It's a great cause.
Signed stick somewhere.
Yeah, there's a signed stick from Ryan Ellis. Yeah,
yes,
that was donated by Justin Abraham, a guy who we'll be talking a little bit more about in a few minutes. But yeah, Hockey Fights Cancer Night in Tillsonburg. We definitely have many who are battling cancer or have family members battling cancer. You're in our thoughts and prayers daily. We think about you guys. We're here for you. We support you. And what a better way to support this cause than by coming out, cheering for a great hockey team, watching the boys hopefully take care of business on the ice, and then going in and putting in the bids on these jerseys that these players wore on the ice, knowing that you get a nice, sharp-looking jersey, and all the proceeds go to cancer research. So the Thunder will be taking on the Fighting Irish of Stratford, the Stratford Fighting Irish, as we call them. Defending league champions, off to a 3-3 start, uncharacteristic. Their big names haven't been playing big time. Now that I say that, I probably jinxed it, and they'll probably... freaking Cameron Stokes will probably score like 8 goals or whatever. Yeah. But Irish come into town. Last time they were in Tillsonburg was Game 4 of the Washoe Championship, when they walked off in overtime with a 5-4 win in Game 4, completing the sweep of the Tillsonburg Thunder. We do not want to see that again. Kind of similar, my narrative that I'm going here with this game, very similar to the Tilbury game. Tillsonburg's going to want revenge. Yeah. It's a very special night. It's near and dear to many of our hearts. This is a great initiative. But on the ice, nobody's friends. Nobody's making friends. No. We don't like these guys. They don't like us. No. Jamie Petrie and Bill Ryan get along great, and Mike Hawley. But your two teams on the ice, they don't get along great. They beat us fair and square, clean. We retooled. We added talent. We added depth. We added grit. We added size. We added everything. And this is our opportunity to show these guys who the best team in the Washoe is. This is not a way to take the championship belt off of them, because we're not in WWE, but it's a way to show we're here, we mean business, and we're going to kick the crap out of you guys. That's what I want. Yes. Is that what we will see? Probably not, because Stratford is still a heck of a hockey team. Defending champions for a reason. Yeah, they're off to a slow start, but so what? Any team can win on any night. We know Stratford can win on any night, as we know Tillsonburg can win on any night. Yeah. So, Thunder, 6-1, hopefully 7-1 by the start of that game. Yeah. Stratford will be 3-3, because I don't believe they play Friday. This is a huge game. I see the Thunder trying to get revenge. Leif, I hope it doesn't get too chippy. Okay. What do you see?
I'm seeing a lot of Thunder goals. I'm predicting. Are we doing predictions right now? Is that
I was gonna go through players to watch first, but then
okay.
we can do you can do your prediction right now. That's fine.
Okay. Well, prediction: Thunder 8, Stratford 3.
Wow.
I know, basic. Ugh.
That's not basic. That's bold. I like it, Leif. You're getting bold here.
Ooh.
Irish. So you got 8-3. I got Tillsonburg doubling Stratford up. I got 6 for the Thunder, 3 for the Irish. We don't know the starting goaltending situation, but hopefully Sags gets well rested. I want to see him in there against Stratford. I want to get some revenge on these guys for last year in the championship. Stratford did lose some depth. That's one thing I can say. Excuse me. Their roster is very similar to last season when they won the Western Ontario Super Hockey League Championship, but they have lost a few guys. Return of the goaltender, Darren Smith, he's back in there, as well as the backup goaltender. Hold on. He played a couple games last year against us. His name is Zach Weir. Yeah, I was thinking of his name. Both of them have over 900 save percentage. They're both good goalies. Yeah. Outside of them, it's the usual big 3 for Stratford. They're going to be our players to watch. Names that Thunder fans are familiar with last year because they put up a lot of points in the playoffs in general and in the championship series. For the Fighting Irish, the players to watch: Cameron Stokes, 8 points in 6 games this year. Ray Robbins, number 9, 7 points in 5 games. And Cooper Leach, 6 points in 6 games. As you can see, though, not immaculate numbers from those guys. You're not seeing, like even look at Delhi. We just mentioned it. Yeah, Chris Martin has 14 points in 6 games. And Cameron Stokes played the same amount of games. He has 8 points. So maybe the guys are a little tired. Maybe the room isn't quite where they need it to be. We don't know. We're not involved with Stratford. We don't care, to be honest with you. When we talk to Andrew Rogers in a couple of weeks on the show, we'll ask him. He knows more about Stratford than we do. But yeah, Stratford's not the same team they were last year. They're 3-3. I mean, they only lost 4 games all year last year, I believe, or 5. And they've already lost 3. So it's a lot of turnover in this league. I think Tillsonburg's become the better team. And I think that Tillsonburg's on a mission to go out and do what they know they're capable of doing. And I think that it starts here. So we did our predictions at the beginning of the first month of the season. And we talked about, in depth, the way that we saw things going with Tilbury, how it was going to be a revenge game, blah, 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 Petrolia, all this stuff. This, to me, this will be 8 games into the season at this point. We're 6-1, so it'll be 9 games into the season. 24-game regular season, so about a third of the way there. Tillsonburg, this is where it starts. Thunder, this is where the business becomes business. This game, A, it's going to be a packed house. B, Hockey Fights Cancer night. You have a teammate that's been battling Hodgkin's lymphoma. We have players involved with the team who have had family members who have passed away from cancer, who are battling cancer right now. This is a huge night for us. And on the ice, all we're asking from you guys is to remember the sound of those fans coming to Tillsonburg and banging their drum and saying, "Let's go Irish," while you, members of the Thunder, took a knee in the corner and watched them skate around your ice with the Western Ontario Super Hockey League Cup. Remember that feeling. That's all we're asking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to fire you guys up. I know the players. I know some of you guys watch this. This is our message to you guys. We're diehard fans of this team. I understand I'm play-by-play now. This guy's on the drum with my dad. We're diehard fans. We come to every game. We support you guys through and through. Last year crushed us. It really did in the championship series because after the Tilbury comeback, you guys had no gas left. We understand. But just remember, these are the guys who outdid you last year in 4 games in the championship series. Remember the sounds of them celebrating. Remember what it looked like to see them skating around with the cup on your ice. And just remember that through and through when you go into this contest. Because what we want to see from you guys is the ultimate revenge game. And we're going to win the game not through penalties and hard hitting or any of that crap. We're going to win the game through skill, grit, tenacity, defense, and goaltending. We know we have the best offense in the league. We know we have the best defense in the league now, adding Van Boekel. And when Sags is 100%, he hasn't been the last couple games. But when Sags is 100%, when Andre's healthy and 100%, and when Jesse's 100%, we have the best trio of goaltenders in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League, hands down. We're the better team. So we turn to you guys on the camera here, and we're just asking players of the Thunder, fans of the Thunder, remember the sounds of their people invading our building, and hats off to them. We invaded their building in the first game of the playoffs, in the first game of the championship as well, and we got silenced quickly. Let's do the same thing that they did to us in their building in the championship. Let's silence these guys. You know they're going to bring people from Stratford. Let's go out there. Let's, A, fight for a great cause. Fans, let's do our part. Let's get in there. Let's bid on these auctions. And B, players, let's go out there and put in a max effort. And what I want to see from you guys is just the memory. Remember what it was like. And the guys who are new to this team, remember when you were a young kid in minor hockey. And not everybody wins a championship every year. Remember the feeling of your biggest rival celebrating on your ice, in your town, whoever, wherever it may be. Just remember that feeling, because this is how we feel and this is how we want you guys to feel. So this is a big game, and we are expecting big things from the Tillsonburg Thunder. I got Thunder 6, Irish 3. Leafs got Thunder 8, Irish 3. Leif, I'm excited, but I'm also nervous because this is as I just touched on, this is a huge game.
Yeah, I agree. It's a really important game for these guys too.
It is. Stratford's going to be fighting for their lives, man. If they fall to 3 and 4, that's a hard hole to climb out of, man. Because you got Tillsonburg, Petrolia setting the pace in the league. Strathroy, has already got 6 wins. You got Tilbury climbing up. You got Woodstock's got 2 wins now. Sorry. We had to take the seriousness out of the air there by throwing our little Woodstock chirp. But Woodstock, hey, Kevin, who? What a freaking game, man. 6 goals, 2 assists, took over the league leader in scoring in one freaking game in Dunnville. But yeah, beside the point, let's get back to business. Stratford is now going to be behind Elora. They're going to be behind. If they lose this game, they are going to be a visitor come playoff time in that 5-game series in the first round. Because it's going to be hard to catch up, man. You got to win these games early on in the season. Because as we get into December, January, guys are going to be going on vacation. Guys are going to have hockey schools. Guys are going to be coaching minor hockey teams. There's going to be tournaments. There's going to be Silver Stick. There's going to be all this stuff.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is between October and December, win as many games as you can. Go on that Christmas break for a week. Everybody resets. Everybody's fresh. Come back New Year's. And try to get as many guys out as you can. And carry that coasting into the playoff kind of mentality. Look at Tillsonburg last year. We were 11-1 to start the season, dude. And look what happened. We fell apart. Guys went on vacation. Guys weren't able to commit. The coaches lost the room. It was a tough situation. I know everybody's bought in this year, but my whole point being, it's not about how you start, it's how you finish. I get it. But these early season wins are very vital because the only reason Tillsonburg had home ice advantage in the playoffs for the first round last year was because they had an 11-1 start. Yeah. So look how hard it was to bounce back for the Thunder. Every team in this league takes a little bit of a slope off as we get to the second half. I personally want to see that out of Tilbury and Stratford this year, but we'll see about that. This is a big game. All jokes aside, I hope to see max effort from the Thunder. That's all I've asked for, and hopefully they're able to provide that. So, yeah, we've been teasing it all episode without actually saying who's going to be with us. We have been in contact with Thunder defenseman Justin Abraham, and he has confirmed that he will be doing a live interview on Zoom with us. So, our special guest this episode for Thunder Hour, the one, the only, Big Abes, the big animal, the big man, an absolute stud on and off the ice. Mr. Justin Abraham, number 12, the defenseman with the handlebars right now. He's rocking the mustache. He's feeling good about Movember. He makes plays. He lays the body. He laid the body a few times last game. Abes laid a seed in the middle for Fitzmaurice's goal, his first of the year. Abes, we're super excited to be able to have you on the show, brother. Yeah. That concludes the first half of Thunder Hour Podcast. Thank you so much for being with us today. I'm Trey Hamilton. This is Leif Dietrich. We'll be right back after this break to join Justin Abraham and be joined by, Justin Abraham live on Zoom. This was Thunder Hour Episode 8. Are you ready, Leif?
I'm ready.
Let's go Thunder! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Thunder Hour Podcast. This is Episode 8. I'm Trey Hamilton. This is Leif Dietrich. We are super excited to be joined here on Zoom tonight by a Thunder absolute classic, a guy who always makes you smile on and off the ice. He's rocking an amazing stash right now. He's a big guy, scary guy. Don't want to mess with him, but ultimately he even said he's a big teddy bear. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Mr. Justin Abraham.
Thanks for having me, guys.
For sure. Abe's, thank you so much for joining us, man. We really appreciate it. We were chatting with you kind of off the air there about how, it means a lot to us to have the players on. I know the fans really appreciate it. So thank you very much for, voting for yourself on the Facebook poll. I know you and Rebs both did that. And, Abe's was the second place in the voting, so we had to make sure we got him on if possible. And Abe's took the time out of his day to come and join us today. So once again, thank you, Justin. And I guess we'll hop into the interview. So I want to say, Abe's, you've been a really steady and calm presence on the Thunder Blue Line since we've been fans and we've been watching. I just wanted to ask you, what's your approach in game for just being able to stay calm like that and always seem to make the right play?
Mostly being too slow to go end to end. So I would say it's a lot easier playing in front of me than behind me. So it's pretty easy to make the right play when you're just standing in your own end.
Hey, I've seen you jump up a few times. I remember, like, Stratford in the championship. I remember that you opened the scoring in that series for us. You just jumped in. You just wired it at the net. I don't know who it hit or what it hit, but I know it went in. That's all that matters. So.
Yeah, it didn't go straight in, I'll tell you that.
Hey, come on now. You do have a hard shot, but no, you know how to find the back of the net if needed. So, which is another thing that, being a defensive guy, I know you're not flying up there like Chris Knotts or Mr. Van Boekel out there, but you definitely contribute. I see you jumping in. As the play-by-play guy, I get a good vantage point. I do see you jumping in here and there, but for the most part, you're steady and you just kind of stay in your own area. And guys don't want to come at you because you seem to always take care of business in that matter. So,
yep.
Why don't you go ahead and shoot your question, Leif?
Abe's, this is your third season with the Thunder. How do you feel about this year's team in particular?
It's just a different vibe completely. We haven't even been tested too many times this year, but even in Petrolia when we were up 4 or 5-0, and they came back on us, no one was nervous. There's just so much experience on this team this year, and I can't even describe it. Everyone's having fun every game, every practice. We got 20 guys showing up to practice every week.
Wow.
We have 5-6 scratches a game. Like, everyone's super committed. So it just, the vibe's completely different this year. So we're all pretty excited to see what's going to happen.
For sure. Yeah, we even picked up on that as just outsiders. And I know we're not in the room. We don't get to see everything that happens. I'll come down and steal a slice of pizza here and there, but that's about the extent of it. But we can tell even just from the young guys that are here and from chatting with you guys that are veterans of this team that, everybody just has a different feeling. Guys are fully bought in. Like, I know you guys were 11-1 to start last year, but I've even chatted even behind the closed doors with Rebs and other guys. It didn't have that exact feeling, right? Like, not everybody felt as bought in as this year, and you guys seem to really have bought into the system that you guys are running, and so far you guys are executing it outside of like the first 3 minutes of every game for some reason, but you guys are slow starters, but we'll blame that one on Finn.
I was gonna say we don't warm up well, that's all.
No, exactly. You know what? Who needs to warm up? You just get out there and have some fun. But no, all jokes aside, it's really great. It's really great to have you back on the blue line this year for sure. Like I said, you had that steady presence, and like I said, we got the young guys like Knotts that they can fly up in the play and deke everybody out, but sometimes you really do need that steady tree trunk back in your own end that's able to drop guys left and right. So
we got a few big boys this year too, which is nice. So
seems like you're one of the shorter guys on defense, which is crazy to say. What the heck, man? So yeah, I wanted to ask you, Ibs, you're a Hamilton area kid. You're a watered down kid, born and raised in that area. I also am from Hamilton. I'm from Stony Creek Mountain area, so kind of where Sags is from. I wanted to ask you, tell us a bit about your minor hockey experience growing up in the Hamilton Minor Hockey Association and where it took you from there to where you are today.
I grew up in the Flamborough area, so I played AA until high school, and then I finally made the Bulldogs team, which every year they were ranked number 2, number 3 in Ontario. So that was a pretty proud moment when I made that for my draft year. And just going from there, played there for 3 years and then went to Caledonia. And anyone from the Hamilton area knows as soon as you play for Caledonia, you're basically playing for an OHL team.
Oh, yeah.
And they treat you like one, too. And I was fortunate enough to win 2 championships there. And then just 1 year in Sweden afterwards, and now I'm semi-retired, right? Just playing on the weekends.
Yeah.
Try not to be a bum. So
Semi-retired. I love it. Yeah, that is cool. Like you said, making that Bulldogs team and growing up in that area, myself being familiar with how the hockey organizations work out there. Like it is a grind, man, to make it through the Hamilton system. And I know like a lot of kids that they would grind to play AAA Huskies, and they just wouldn't make it. They'd be down in AA. But like you had said, even about Caledonia and I know that was going to be your next question anyway, Leaf. So why don't you just go ahead and ask him now, because we're into it. So
yeah, you were part of the organization with the Junior B. What was it like playing on those teams?
Similar to this one, to be honest. Every weekend we knew we were going to win, basically. And I mean, it's a little different when you're in junior, because some guys are still going to school, some guys are going to play pro after. But I mean, that organization is the best, and you go there as a 19, 20-year-old to win. You don't expect anything less. Now we're doing the same thing in Tillsonburg this year. Guys that are coming in only want to win, right? You don't have guys just showing up, just not trying. It doesn't really work like that anymore. So
no, that's a really cool thing to see. And it's funny because it seems like for years the Thunder have had some kind of connection. I know a lot of it is to do with the players themselves bringing in friends and things like that, but we've had a tie-in with the Corvairs organization, and I was joking with Bill about that's a really great organization to have a connection to, because as you said, it's where I got my start as a broadcaster. I was working for Cable 14 in Hamilton, and there was two teams that I would cover with a couple other guys that were kind of young up-and-coming guys, and we did the Corvairs and the Ancaster Avalanche. And I could definitely tell you, going from doing Avalanche games and over to the Corvairs games, like the crowd was a different vibe. Like you said, the way that the room is set up, the guys just seem so bought in. And I was there in 2018, 2019, so obviously a little after when you were there. But yeah, it's a great organization. It's top notch, and we were even saying that to each other. When you see some of these junior A leagues out there and stuff, like the GOJHL, in our opinion, is the best junior hockey league outside of major junior in Ontario, and I don't think a lot of people appreciate that. So to be able to see guys that come from an organization like the Corvairs, or guys that come from Stratford and other teams that are these powerhouses in junior B, like just because it has the junior B title, it's similar to how our league is considered, senior AA, and the guys in the Allen Cup or senior AAA. Like the skill level in our league is from what I've seen. I mean, there's some really, really talented guys in this league, so I guess you can kind of appreciate that too yourself, playing in junior B, and some people, it's junior B. No, it's the GOJHL is one of the best hockey leagues in Ontario for junior, like for sure, through and through.
Yeah, I can remember forever only being a junior B player and going to skate with guys that are in the O or junior A, and I was way better. And it depends what team you're on. It really does. And like Stratford, they put out a good team every single year. You got Chatham in there, St. Catharines. Like it's all once you're on a powerhouse team, it's an OHL team. It really is.
Oh, it definitely looks like it, man. Like we've watched, because that's one of the things we did before we became fans of the Thunder and now work with the team. We went and watched OHL games and Junior C, Junior B, Junior A, like OJHL stuff in Brantford. And I know Brantford's not the best example. They're not a great team every year, but we can definitely say, just from seeing Junior B hockey in comparison to specifically the GOJHL, in comparison to what we see from kind of the mid-tier of the OJ and the upper tier of Junior C, like the Junior B in Ontario especially, it's a dominant league, man. Like there's some guys that are playing Junior B that should be in the OHL already, and they never get that sniff, right? So
it comes down to a lot of money issues too, because the OJ is like $8-9 grand a year to play in.
Yeah.
Like Junior B, I think it was $250 for insurance. Like it's a big difference. So especially when you're 16, 17, your family can't afford that. So a lot of guys go to Junior B and they stay there. And I mean, I don't know how many guys that I played with played pro. A few of them made the NHL. A few of them played D1. Like it's no real difference.
Yeah, it's a great product on the ice. Like we love to watch it, and like you said, just for the financial issues itself, like that's what we've always been strong proponents of that. Guys who are playing in the OJ are not necessarily the junior A caliber guys, and that's just how it's always going to be, right? Hockey's always been political, and there's even guys we see playing for Woodstock here with the Navy vets that are junior C players that I feel belong in higher organizations. But you know what? Financially, you're comfortable where you are, things like that. It is what it is. So fans out there, don't judge a book just by the junior B, C, A title on somebody. You know, it's not always, the best players aren't always playing in the best leagues, right? So
100%.
Yeah, so I guess I'll jump over to my next question I had for you, because I watched the highlight package not long ago after Rebry and I had a chat, and he was there at the Tim's, and we ended up running into you, which was awesome. Just kind of line you up for this week, like, hey, by the way, you're going to be on the podcast next week.
Didn't give me much of a choice, but that's all right.
Yeah, we were like, yeah, Abe's, you're a hostage in this situation. So, but I wanted to ask you. I noticed, I watched the video. You were driving the net on Jake Brown's Game 7 series clinching goal. I want to ask, what was that feeling like, A, being in that series, and B, actually driving the net, being there, getting the front row seat, literally, of JB's undressing of Tilbury, and be a part of that 3-game comeback? What was that like?
It was quite funny because I played junior with JB for years and senior, and we both had the same reaction. Is we went on a 3-on-2, and I went back door, and the defenseman slid like he was going to pass it to me. So there's no chance JB's passing that. And that's what we were laughing about after. What an idiot. Like, why are you covering me? He's the goal scorer. So, that was just, he literally put the team on his back. And I've seen him do that for 3, 4, 5 years. So I'm really not surprised. And I'm so happy we beat them because they were a pain in our side all year last year.
Oh, yeah, they were. And they've already started out this year being a pain in our side again. So, but yeah, that was really special for us as fans, too, because we made the road trip down. And I know some people in other towns call us losers and stuff just for going to watch you guys, but we'll be there for you guys through and through, man. Like, we get time off work. Like, I'm specifically always off Fridays and Saturdays at my job, so it works out great for me that I have the chance to, you guys play always Fridays and Saturdays. So, but yeah, being there last year and seeing that comeback, like hearing their fans, and there's one of their guys too, he was number 10, he was not very good, he was a healthy scratch. He was in the seats in Tillsonburg in Game 3, I think it was Game 1 and 3, I think we played at home, I can't remember exactly, but he was chirping us about, oh, this is going to be a quick series, it's going to be over quick, oh, don't worry, we'll make sure we end it quickly for you guys, put you out of your misery, and we just kept on saying, okay, well, we'll wait and see what happens. And I know on the ice they seem to be a very mouthy team at times, so it must have been awesome just getting out there and watching. Like you said, we saw the replay. There's like 4 of them just laying on the ice like this, and the goaltender's laying on the ice, and you guys are in the corner, and you and JB are fist bumping, and it must have been a great feeling just to end it. And I know obviously the championship didn't go as planned, but you guys were gassed, and like you said, JB, Weston, and Rebs carried us through that series, and they just didn't have enough in the tank in the championship. But yeah, it must have been a great feeling.
It's funny. I know who you're talking about was the healthy scratch as well, because he runs his mouth a lot. So I mean, he's passionate. He can say that, right? But we know who that is too.
Oh,
so
I think
you don't even have to say his name. Yeah,
I know. That's why I didn't say his name, because I knew you'd know who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I know league people that are watching know exactly what I'm talking about. He's a funny guy, but sometimes sometimes you need to watch yourself around him.
Yeah.
He has
people
no
don't
limits.
forget.
No,
people don't forget.
People never forget. And you know what? His crap talk led to us being able to give everybody the old L on the forehead after that Game 7. So it just felt so much sweeter to beat them. So, Leif, you got another one. Why don't you go ahead?
Justin, you spent time in Swedish Div 2 and the FHL. What were those experiences like playing hockey so far from home?
Sweden was awesome. I mean, it was I think it's the 3rd league there. It's a Division 2, but it's the 3rd league. That's the best hockey I've ever played by far. And I was fortunate enough to go with Luke Sinclair and Cosmo Fontana, who I played junior with. And Sinclair's on Delhi now too. So we had a good experience there. We had a good house. We got treated like gold. And then I moved back home and kind of got a real job and decided to play FHL on the weekends, which only lasted about a month because driving 8 hours to play on a Friday is not that much fun.
No.
That league's hit and miss too, though. Like the top teams are the top teams in that league, and then the bottom teams are just kind of. I don't know why the guys are still playing, kind of thing. But
yeah.
But it was honestly a blast, and any competitive hockey is better than beer league. Let's be real.
Oh, for sure, man. Like, look at in Tillsonburg. Like, since we've shown up, and I'm not taking credit for anything here, but since we've shown up, we did our part. We went out in the community. We spread the word to the fans, to the people, brought the drum, all that stuff. Like, you even get to see it, how amazing it is to be playing in senior men's hockey and have a crowd of 500-600 people there banging the drum, screaming "Let's go Thunder!" Like, as a player, it must be a pretty cool experience to be able to experience that, because I feel like everywhere else we go to watch Washoe hockey, we have by far the best barn and the best fan base in the league.
Yeah, and I mean, it definitely started with you guys and making noise and making people pay attention. But Holly and Bill together, they advertise so well too. Mm-hmm. I mean, now we've teamed up with Tim Hortons. And we have student night tomorrow night, or cancer night Saturday night. Like, it just keeps people engaged.
It does. It's a great thing to see, right? And pack the barn. And we kept saying it to Bill and Mike. We'll do our part. You guys do your part. Because once you get butts in the seats and they see the product on the ice, because you guys for the last couple of years have been an outstanding team, right? And all 3 years you've been on the Thunder, you guys have been the best team in the Western Ontario Super Hockey League at points, and you guys have struggled at other points. But overall, the product on the ice, the crispness of the way you guys play the game, it's a professional organization. Like, the way things are run are great. The game day environment's awesome. And we told them that if you can get people here and they're able to pay attention and see what's on the ice, they're going to keep coming. And our attendance is way up this year. And just from even guys who came to the exhibition game against Alvinston, people were saying, like, exhibition games in the past, there was 10 or 11 people in the crowd, and it was girlfriends and moms, and that was it. So we actually were able to have like 200-300 people to an exhibition game, get chants going and stuff. It was really cool to see. So I can imagine as a player that must be a pretty cool feeling to have, for sure.
At this point, I think we're just surprised we're not getting fans at practice, because it seems like that. It's even in warm-up last game, there was 250 people there. It's like, oh my God. So it makes everyone buy in, right? Which is nice.
For sure. Like I said, you got a guy like Van Boekel. He's coming straight from the ECHL, and you're playing in certain ECHL barns, and there's 120 people in the frigging barn, and here we are playing in the Washoe, and we have 400 or 500 people, and like student night, it's going to be packed because the kids come in for free. They're going to bring their buddies, and it's going to be a cool environment for guys like him to see, right? Because I don't think people understand or appreciate when they're coming from these higher levels. It's not that the hockey is as good, but the thing is you buy in, you get to have fun with your buddies. It's more relaxed, and I mean, it's still physical. We're going to talk about that in a minute with you, but it's still it's a great brand of hockey to play. And when you have a crowd that's bought in, like what we saw even in Tilbury, I don't like the team, but their crowd last year in the championship was awesome, man. Like, they were rocking, they were dancing, they were singing, they were feeling good, and that's what you need in this league. And this league seems to be taking the right steps where, you're not driving down to Seaforth with 30 people in the crowd in the WOAA and nobody cares. Like, you're not going to Dundas Real McCoy's game with a bunch of old guys in cheap suits drinking whiskey. Like, this is the fans actually care here, right? So, and that's something that we're happy to be able to do that for you guys. So
there's definitely a lot of emotion in the stands, and then that helps there be emotion on the ice, right? So
for sure, we feed off each other, right? Like, we bang on that drum, we get the crowd going, and then we see you guys start picking up your play, and you guys are just a little tighter on the passes, and the hits get a little bit bigger, and that's the kind of stuff that we do it. We tell every player that comes on here, we do it for you guys, and then you guys turn around and put a good product on the ice for us in exchange, right? So
absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you any advice that you would give a young defenseman who's up and coming, who maybe isn't the greatest skater in the world and doesn't pot a bunch of goals. What's some advice you would give to a young kid who knows they're a defenseman, is a stay-at-home guy, and to get on to the next level and reach a point like where you have reached in your career?
Oh, I've never been asked that before. Basically, you gotta pick a D-man either in the OHL, the AHL, NHL. Just mimic what they do, because there's tons of guys that make it in all those leagues that are just simple players, right? And as long as you buy in and perfect exactly what you're good at, you're gonna make it as far as you want to, basically.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Who was your D-man growing up that you modeled yourself around?
No one. That was my problem. That's why I didn't get any better. So
Hey, I mean, you still throw the lumber around like a few
Yeah.
NHL defensemen we've seen. So I'm sure you were one of those kids that like the Don Cherry Rock'em Sock'em videos and
Still do.
there
Still
we go.
do, yeah,
See,
yeah.
we have my dad has the whole collection. So I was raised on that brand of hockey, and I'm glad that it's not going anywhere unless you're in is it the WHL, the band fighting?
The Q.
It was
The Q
the Q.
did. Yeah.
Q.
Well, you know what? I'm sure it'll make a comeback. I mean, I
It's a
think
little ironic. A little ironic because they have the men's fighting league there,
Literally.
but then the QMHL can't fight. It doesn't really make a whole lot of
That's
sense.
what we questioned when we saw that. We're like, I thought it was in my mind it was the WHL, but the Western Canadian boys, they don't care. They'll still throw hands.
No.
And even here in Ontario, I mean, we don't have the toughest group of guys, but there's still some guys here that'll throw the hands. But yeah, you'd think out east, like you get out even onto the far east coast, like you see some of these guys that are making that league. They're making that league because they're physical, even to this day. So to have no fighting, I think it's dumb. But again, that's
It
another
doesn't make
topic
sense.
for another day. But
Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you go ahead and shoot your last question, Leif?
Abe's, you like to play a physical game, lay big hits. What does it take to physically to play that brand of hockey?
It helps being a lot bigger than other people. I'll tell you that. It just, I don't know. I've always liked doing that. I've always liked sticking up for people. Whether that's my goalie, my D partner, my forward, it doesn't really matter. And I'm not gonna lie, I get happier watching highlights of me crushing someone than making a nice pass. So that helps too.
We'll have to put together a little Abe's Crushing Guys highlight package.
Yeah.
Now that I'm on the broadcast, I'll be able to. Because trust me, when you throw the hits, I make sure I say it. He's laid out by Abraham. Big hit, Justin Abraham. Like, I love it. So we'll put together a little package for you, and we'll post that on YouTube, and then let the boys dissect that one in the room.
Great. Yeah.
Don't worry, we won't do any misplays or anything like that. I promise.
No, if you're gonna do misplays, you got to put one of Knott's because he likes throwing the pizzas out the middle. So.
Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we were gonna put that one. Who was it? Was it Dunville where he just flubbed on it? We were gonna make a joke about that play, but you know what? Like I said, I'm seeing you tomorrow in person. I don't want to make a bad joke because
No.
I don't want to have to deal with the consequences. So, yeah, Ibs. In closing, last question here. I just wanted to ask you, what does Saturday's Hockey Fights Cancer game mean to you personally and to the boys on the team? Because I know you're really good friends with Jamie Forsland and everything he's gone through dealing with his battle with cancer. Just let us know what that game means to you and just the overall feeling in the room.
I mean, to me personally, it does mean a lot. Not just because of Forsy, but I mean, everyone goes through it at some point, either their family member or them themselves. And I remember last year I reached out to Forsland to see if he wanted to come play because I know he had moved closer, and when he told me he had cancer, it killed me. It crushed me. And I mean, and now this year as a team we're doing more. We're putting it more on Facebook. People are donating more, and it's great to see. And we hope that Saturday people show up and want to help. Right? Like everyone wants to donate money because we need a cure. Simple as that. Everyone gets affected by it. So seriously, it's going to be a big game. It's going to be an emotional game, but everyone's looking forward to it.
For sure, 100%. Abe's, we're right there with you. And to everybody at home that's going to be watching this, because this is releasing Friday morning. If you're not aware already, Saturday is our Hockey Fights Cancer night. The guys like Abe's will be wearing our limited edition special Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys. Every jersey in the game, and even guys who are scratched and not playing in the game, are going to be auctioned off, along with a bunch of other really cool items. Like I saw the Lightning McQueen poster thing signed by Jamie, and there's a few really cool things. I know my girlfriend was itching about getting a snow brush and some windshield fluid for her car for the winter, and I saw that got put on Facebook, so I told her to bid on it, and she did. So just little things like that, and all the proceeds go right to Hockey Fights Cancer itself, which is an organization which donates directly to immediate cancer research. So once again, Abe's, we really appreciate you. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for sharing your story about your hockey career and all the way through to, like you said, having your really good friend Jamie Forsland go through what he's gone through, beat it, and now get to be part of the team, man. We really appreciate everything you've done for us tonight, Abe's.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. And you guys have been doing awesome work too. If it isn't too much, the guys do like the highlight packages, whether it's making fun of us or not, right? So
That's awesome.
we got a good group this year, and like I said, we're all looking forward to see what's going to happen. So
For sure, Abe, just keep your foot on the gas, and the other 20 plus guys in the room, keep your guys' foot on the gas, and we're really looking forward to it. And like we said on this episode upcoming, we mentioned it just between ourselves. Just remember the emotion of Saturday, not only with what it means on the ice, off the ice, in terms of the Hockey Fights Cancer, but remember what those guys did to us last year, and remember that this is a revenge sport, and let's go out there and let's show them a thing or two. So
absolutely, can't wait.
All right, Abes, thanks a lot. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching Thunder Hour Podcast. This has been episode 8 for Leif Dietrich and Mr. Justin Abraham. I'm Trey Hamilton. We are signing off from Woodstock, Ontario, Canada. Have a great night, Tillsonburg. We will see you next week. Are you ready, Leif?
Yep.
Let's go, Thunder.